So the Canadian Rockies Waterton tour is just a really fantastic tour. Waterton is one of my favorite regions of the Canadian Rockies. It's a place where there aren't really foothills, so you get prairies coming straight into the mountains. And because of that really interesting combination, is one of the most diverse places for wildflowers, for Lepidoptera, for all sorts of neat things. And it also has a unique set of bird species that are actually quite hard to find in Canada, all sorted together, which is really neat. It starts and ends in Calgary, Alberta, and we visit one of the sort of top birding destinations in the Canadian prairies, which is the Frank Lake important bird area. And this is just an outstanding place to see and photograph wetland birds, and tens of thousands of them. White pelicans, western grebes doing displays, Franklin skulls, white-faced ibis, the list goes on, eared grebes. It's really an incredible place to spend time. So we'll spend a few hours there. Then we spend a lot of time in the mountains, and from there we go into the Kananaskis region. The Kananaskis region is a real gem for birding, and we'll actually hit some boreal forest sites to try to see things like evening grosbeaks and American three-toed woodpeckers. And then we'll head into the mountains looking for harlequin ducks and American dippers. And if we're really lucky at that time of year, we actually have a reasonable chance of seeing grizzly bears, which is always a really fun thing to see from the vehicle, of course. And we spend most of our time around Waterton Lakes National Park, which is stunningly beautiful. And we'll be looking for some great mountain Southern Rockies specialties like black-headed grosbeak, lazuli bunting, western tanagers are usually quite common, dusky flycatcher. There's all sorts of really great birding, but the scenery alone is sort of worth it. There's lots of elk, there's lots of bighorn sheep, there are lots of bears to be seen. It's a really great place to spend time. We're staying right in the national park, right in the tiny little town of Waterton. We're minutes away from the lake. We're minutes away from really spectacular waterfalls and really great birding. So we're actually in a spot where we can walk to dinner, walk to birding, and I think people really enjoy that about staying right inside Waterton. On the last little leg of the tour, we head up to Head Smashed In Buffalo Chump, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We'll have a tour of the museum, and we'll learn a lot more about the Indigenous history of the area and why this place is so important. There are some birds to see for sure. There's often Sprague's pipits there, and yellow-bellied marmot, which is a pretty cool mammal, is often along there as well. There are a lot of favorite birds on this trip. How can you go wrong with American dipper? Getting to see, nesting American dippers is always a highlight. It's a songbird that can hang out underwater and look for food. It's like, what more do you need to see? American dippers is definitely the best. I think harlequin ducks are so beautiful. It's such a great opportunity to see them, and we should get good looks at both, and that's really special. It's a really jam-packed trip where we actually cover a lot of ground in southwestern Alberta. It's one of the most beautiful locations in the entire province, and I love going there.